Hayes is saying price is being reported at $450, and that's It looks like it's confirmed by Sarah.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw it. Kingsley just posted $450 as well.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be $450.
Cool. Yeah,
50 more than I was hoping for $350, to be honest.
Does it have an OLED was $350? It wasn't gonna be $350.
It's dumb.
I think
I was expecting $400.
So it's so much more than it should be, bro.
Listen, it's a one-time purchase, and then you got the game forever, and it's beefy, it's powerful. We complain about these games not looking as good as they should, but it's like, okay, it's gonna. I think we don't understand what this system's gonna feel like. To play in HD on a handheld is cool. No, like the PlayStation doesn't do that. I don't know how you guys play your Switch, but I'm always playing handheld.
I'm usually playing handheld.
Like it's
unless
gonna,
it's
gonna
when
be,
it's a
it's
brand new
powerful.
game, I usually do like to like for Scarlet and Violet, my wife and I took turns. Like when one of us got to a gym, we switched off, and the other person played on the TV while the other played handheld.
Sure. I don't know. I mean,
if I wait a little bit, do I get it cheaper?
No, you don't.
Maybe
in 2 years.
I will be waiting, man. Honestly, like get the
but you see, if you
inevitable Gen 10 edition.
But look, if you wait, you're not going to pay any less. Like,
for sure.
Gen 10 is coming, so like a year.
But I'll have time to save the $900.
Sure, yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
Bro, you should just buy one.
This can't be real. Someone in chat, Tomika, just said that games are reportedly $80 on this thing.
Rip.
No,
stuff's getting expensive now. And the inflation's real.
If that can't, no.
I'm not seeing that anywhere.
I don't understand. I don't know. For me,
Quill puts it into good context. Like Quill was saying on here, she said, so it is over $500 to have the system and the game. Because you have to think, great, you bought the system, you still need to buy a game.
Yeah, 100%.
It is
that's a good point. That does get pretty expensive.
It's sad that there's a narrative. I've talked to y'all before about how I'm a huge Disney person. It's Pokemon, Disney. And I love Disney World. And the thing about Disney World that's super upsetting is Walt Disney, his whole goal for the Disney parks was that all families would be able to afford it.
Yeah,
it's pricing people out, and that's what video games.
Yeah, dude, that's
a
pretty good point.
It is sad to see, used to the Wii was I was talking about it earlier, before the stream. The Wii was my family's console. I did not have a Wii. My family had a Wii. We played that Wii together. But that's hard to do now, if you've got kids and all, that's 500 plus is a
dude, honestly
price,
that's a good point. And honestly, a Switch is not really a family console. A Switch, I mean, it is for when there literally are children, but if you have a couple kids over 8, they're gonna want their own device. These are handhelds at the end of the day, and I think Nintendo's been pushing this system in that direction, right? There's all sorts of different SKUs for the Switch to incentivize people to have their own personal device, which is what we were talking about, right? Like Lumi, you have one and your wife needs one. Yeah, okay, all right, that does make sense. System alone and then games, that's a lot of money. Sampy saying $80 in Canada is $100.
Dude.
Yeah, that is pretty pricey. That's pretty pricey.
Rip.
I guess
Do we know how much the expansion pass is? Because I actually really want to play those Pokemon games.
I don't know.
I think
but
it's
I agree.
$50 a year.
That's not so bad, but
that's not.
It's you're buying one game and you get it for a year.
Also,
I guess
Red left a super chat and said, "I don't need mouse mode. I'll wait for Switch 2 Lite."
Yeah, I did read that already.
It's true though. You don't.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, you did.
I was googling while looking for the prices on these things. My bad.
I guess
no, it's all good.
I guess I just look at you're right. $450 is a lot of money, especially if this is supposed to be more of a personal device. And I guess what you're saying makes sense. Generally, they just privated this video. Let's see if I can find it. What I'm thinking about is, $450 is a lot, but that's $450 over the course of the next decade that I'm going to be playing this system.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, and again,
what do you mean? What do you mean? Hopefully not.
I'd rather a new system come out before the next decade.
Well, and I think the thing is too.
But we're talking about this. That's you sound like me with ports.
Sense for you though. That especially makes sense for you though because you make revenue off of the Nintendo Switch. You know what I mean? But if you're just a family, your kid, wants a Switch, and then, he's got a little brother who wants to be just like him.
No,
now,
that all makes
brother's
sense.
Gonna have a Switch. I want a Switch.
No, that makes sense.
It does suck that we're just pricing people out like that.
Well,
so
actually,
IGN did report.
Yeah.
IGN did report Nintendo Switch 2 is $450. The Switch 2 Mario Kart World bundle is $500 though, which that's pretty good when you factor in that but it makes the game $50.
That is a bundle though, so it's probably not $50. The actual games are probably $60, right? At least.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Because you had to save something for the bundle. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you saved money by getting the bundle.
Right. I guess an advantage to this though is like the Switch 2 is an upgrade, right? I don't think they expect everyone to purchase it day one. I think if you look at this I think of like the iPhone model, right? Every year there's a new version of an iPhone, right? And your phone's fine for the 3, 4, 5 years that you have it. But like eventually you're incentivized to get the upgrade slowly over time, right?
Oh my God.
So, and because this is a continuation of the Switch family, that is how they've marketed this Switch 2. They're not saying everyone go buy a brand new Switch 2. They're saying this is the upgrade. If you want the new games, this is where the direction's going. You can get it in a year. You can get it in 2 years. You can get it in 3 years. But eventually you'll come over. And I think, so when we talk about, I don't think the incentive is every single kid needs this. I think it's your regular Switch is still fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's bonuses if you get it, right?
Mario Kart is selling at digital version is €80. Physical version is €90. €90 to USD is about $100.
Yeah, it's pretty similar now.
It's 97 something.
Jeez, yeah, that is.
So Mario Kart World, if you want the physical version, will be $100. Donkey Kong Bonanza digital is €69.99 euros, and physical is €79.99 euros. So that's gonna be at least 80 physical. So these games are gonna be freaking expensive. These games are gonna be like $80. So Mario Kart World is listed at $79.99 for US for both physical and digital. For some reason, and at least some European countries, it's actually cheaper to get digital than it is physical. But here in the US, it will be $79.99. So $80 games.
Jeez. That's
even if
really
that one's a little more, I'd see it as a Tears of the Kingdom situation because Donkey Kong Bonanza was $79.99 for euros and Mario Kart World's $89.99 euros.
Sure.
So I would still expect Switch 2 games to be standard $70.
Dumb. But that makes sense. They try to slowly raise that jump.
Right. And they kind of started to do it too with like Zelda was 70. So that wasn't even a Switch 2 game,
Sure.
I missed 30.
I know it.
Sure, I know, right? Well, it's a different. I mean, we're not playing with Game Boy colors anymore. Plus, there's all the inflation. Listen, that is a lot of money. Red says with the $10. Thank you, Red. He goes, "This is how Nintendo continues to encourage pirating and emulation. I like how it is more powerful. I agree with you, Dusty, but these prices are out of control." Absolutely. I think we're all going through this in real time. Those prices are pretty big. So how you guys feeling?
Good. I mean,
a little tired.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
A little. Honestly, I
wish it was more. I'm a little disappointed.
I'm hyped about the Scarlet and Violet patch. Hyped about the Coliseum game and XD Gale of Darkness coming in. But those prices are a bummer. I even just saw Pokesutami posted that in Japan they're basically gonna have to pay $200 extra if they want a multi-language Switch.
That's crazy.
So it's just it's a bit of a bummer.
I think,
and not even for me. I don't want to sound like I'm throwing a pity party because, I mean, I'm thinking of the families. There's kids that want to play Pokemon. They're gonna have younger siblings who also want to play Pokemon.
But they can play this on a Switch though. I mean, just for the record, they can play Legend ZA on the Switch.
This one.
Yes,
but probably not Gen 10.
No.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It is sad.
But people have, I am with you. But I guess I'm just trying to say, it's not all doom and gloom. Like I think
No.
Yeah,
there's
not at
like
all, but the
over
price is
there's
pretty
almost
rough.
2 years in
Price
order
is
to like save up for a Switch 2 if you really want one, right? Christmases
Yeah.
are coming. I agree. This is expensive, but I guess something that I don't know. How much does a PS5 cost? Again, I'm not saying these are comparable systems, but I'm just wondering.
I never bought a PS5 because it was $500. I was like, I'm not buying
There
that.
you go.
But also, I might have if they had released games for it. That's the thing is like the PS5, PS4 situation was very
Yeah, it's about the
interesting. They literally released everything that they released on the PS5 for the PS4, so I never needed to get a PS5.
Also, for what it's worth, just doing a quick Google search, the most their games are $70, and I'm seeing some as low as 50 or 60.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I know this
Nintendo's is a
new
price
precedent.
increase.
Yeah, this is a new precedent that Nintendo is setting, and it's like, why are you doing this?
Probably to get ahead of whatever the next gen is going to be, you know?
See, but you can't get ahead if you're behind on everything else. You know, it's like what Soul said. Every feature you revealed in this Direct that the Switch has, guess what? We've been doing that for years, baby. Yeah. And you're going to charge more for it than the other guys.
Listen, I get that. I guess...
Oh, crummy.
No. I totally get what you're saying. I just think there's a little bit... I get what you're saying, right? Because the idea is like more technology means it costs more money. But if you're not spending that much... if the technology is lower, then it should be cheaper. But I guess where I'm coming from is like some of that is also subjective, you know? Some of that's also subjective. Instead, maybe the cost is going towards like just these games that I want to play. I don't know.
More about the games being so high. Like,
yeah,
I can do a one-time
it's kind of crazy.
big purchase.
Right,
It's
yeah.
the games that are like, bro, $80 for just a game. I'm like, I'm not buying games then. I'm buying one game. Like, and that feels like that's gonna hurt them. And I've seen so far on the internet, everyone's reacting poorly to the $80.
Yeah.
As well.
I knew they would. I mean, once I saw that, I was like, yeah, people aren't gonna take that lightly. I remember people responding pretty badly when Tears of the Kingdom was 70.
Yeah,
I know.
70 is already too high. Like, bro, we were at 50 like 3 years ago.
Well, and like I said, Nintendo.
Yeah, but the 50 just for
Nintendo's
the record,
always behind, and they are. So you're okay. Great job.
But in this case, they might be ahead. In this case, they might be ahead.
We've seen all the specs, and the specs are things we're already seeing. And so you've caught up to everyone else, but are going to charge more than everyone else. Cool.
They probably have some inside information. Listen, I hear what you're saying. I'm just really just trying to think about every angle of this. They're probably hearing that this is where the market's going, you know? And we talk about like, oh, like the games were $50 3 years ago, but the games became $50. They became $60 a decade ago, you know? Like bumping up the prices again. Yeah. Like a flat price. Yeah, it is more expensive, but everything costs more, which is not good. And I'm not advocating for that. It sucks, dude.
Yeah.
It sucks going grocery shopping. I love cooking. I love grocery shopping. I love eating. But like, it's so expensive to go to the market basket and just get groceries for the week. It's insane, dude. Like everything's more expensive. I get that. I guess I'm just saying like, what's going to bring me the most joy? Probably this new Pokemon game, right? Probably these games that I'm going to buy. So
and that's how I feel
chilling.
too. But again,
I'm going to save up for it.
These other companies are selling these games that are doing the same things your games are for cheaper. You ain't got an excuse.